You are Locked On Astros Postcast, part of Locked On Sports Houston on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Boy, oh boy, it sure is nice to be able to play the Los Angeles Angels if you are the Houston Astros, because they cannot stop beating that club as they creep even closer to another division title in the American League West. Hi, guys. Welcome tonight on a Friday night to the Locked On Astros Postcast. Appreciate you guys for stopping by and saying hello. Appreciate you guys for last night helping this channel hit the 2,000 subscriber mark. Really do mean it. Appreciate that a lot. We got good things to talk about. Okay, not everything's great. We'll talk about Verlander because we can just talk the truth about Justin Verlander at this point. There's no reason to hide it anymore. Let's go ahead and get through all of it tonight here on this edition of the Locked On Astros Postcast, which, by the way, is brought to you by FanDuel. Now through September 22nd, all FanDuel customers can bet $5 and get a 3-week free trial of NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube and YouTube TV. Visit FanDuel.com to get started. Well, let's go with the good tonight, guys. Let's not go with the fact that the Angels clawed all the way back into this game. You know, obviously because of Justin Verlander, he sucked. We'll talk about him again in a minute. Let's talk about the good. Let's talk about Alex Bregman popping a home run tonight. Let's talk about Yainer Diaz appearing to get out of his funk a little bit and going 3 for 4. Let's talk about Jake Myers hitting a 3-run home run. Let's talk about Kyle Tucker being awesome tonight and going 4 for 5 and hitting a home run. We won't talk about Jordan being in a funk because I saw the numbers from Brian McTaggart, and it's not good. Jordan's got to get out of his funk because postseason baseball is coming, and it's coming quickly. I do want to pull up that number, though, real quick. Sorry. Jordan Alvarez is 4 for his last 33. Yikes. Not what you need. But you know what you do need? Wins. They won tonight, like they won last night. And at the end of the day, with the season coming to an end and the division title getting closer and closer, the Mariners did win tonight, so the Astros don't add to their lead. Seattle's a game and a half out of the wild. They're playing for the wild card. They're a game and a half out of the wild card. And I don't know which way I go. Like, I know that everybody's got their preferences when it comes to, like, right now the Astros are going to play the Minnesota Twins. They could also play the Detroit Tigers, who are a half game back, and the Mariners are a game and a half. I personally am pulling for the Twins. The Twins give up a ton of runs, and they have played awful baseball down the stretch. I would like to see them play Minnesota, I think, if I'm picking. Number 2, I would pick Detroit. And I only say Seattle 3 because, 1, Seattle has pitching that can shut you down. And Seattle is insanely familiar with you. They know all your tricks that you're going to pull. Oh, did the Twins end up winning? My bad. I didn't see that. So whatever. The MLB website hasn't updated. I haven't looked at the scores of the other games, but their standings page is always just insanely slow. Yeah, the Twins did win. Okay. The odds of the Mariners getting into the postseason are slim, right? I mean, and even if they played them, I'm not worried. The Astros should beat any of those 3 teams they're playing in a best of 3 at home. And if they don't, well, then they deserve to go home. They will beat any of those 3 teams. I just like the Twins matchup because the Twins, like I mentioned, they've given up a ton of runs this season. I think the number was, let me see here real quick. The Twins have given up a total of 713 runs this season. 713. The Astros, just so you can, I mean, it's not that far off, but 698. I can't read good. I'm sorry, guys. 697 was the number that they've given up. It's still a lot. That is actually the most of any American League playoff team. 679. I was looking at runs scored. 679 is the number they've given up. They've given up more than any other team that's in the postseason right now in the American League. So I'm still rooting for them. Still rooting for them. What I'm also rooting for is just going out there and taking care of business. And you're getting guys hot at the right time. Kyle Tucker, that looked like Kyle Tucker was back tonight. 4 for 5, home run. Homer the other night in that Twins. Got the Twins on my mind. In that Angels series out there in Anaheim. And came off the bench and did it, one swing? But it's good to see, getting back into the groove of it a little bit. They need him, and we know that. The Astros have to have a good Kyle Tucker in the postseason. They can play every day. And maybe, just maybe, that's what they're about to get back, based off what we've seen. If they can get that production there, they can find a way to get Jordan. First or second, you get him the most opportunities. I just have not been a fan of him there. Now, I'm pull up the numbers. This doesn't include last night's numbers because, tonight's numbers, because this website, Baseball Reference, doesn't update very quickly when it comes to it. When Jordan hits second this year, well, he's not bad. It's not that he's bad. 292, 14 home runs, 33 runs batted in. Third, he is a 310 hitter, 20 home runs, 52 runs batted in, 971 OPS. He's great either way. I just prefer him in the 3-4. Really the 3-hole. Have Bregman protecting him in the 4-hole. Hell, I'm not scared of it. Bat Tucker 2. Bat Jordan 3. There you go. Why not? Hell, if he's hot, I'd even consider batting Gainer Diaz number 2. But he is the guy. I think was he still the team in runs batted in, or he's behind Jordan, whatever. He drives in a lot of runs too. So I think good problems, right? They're starting to, get some guys. I mentioned those guys really. Bregman, they got to get him back going for the postseason because he's been in a funk lately. Big home run. That was a bomb too. Absolute bomb. We're going to talk about Bregman in a little bit because this Bregman saga of contract this, contract that. Dana Brown just continues to use word salad, and I'm going to be honest with you, I'm out on Dana Brown talking. It's just a bunch of crap. He just says words. Nice guy to talk to away from the microphone, but he just says words. I'd almost rather go back to James Click not saying anything. But they need Bregman hot. They need everybody, but they need those biggest of big boys to do something. And they can get that going. They're dangerous. We know that. I was just sitting here looking at it before we started the show. The American League is just so blah. And think about it. The number one team in the league, and really the entire league this year, has been incredibly blah from the standpoint of, and maybe that's a good thing for the sport. I am always a proponent of having a lot of balance in the sport. I think that's the beauty of the NFL, is that the NFL, every single season, you can get anything out of it. They have a very great balance of how it works. Baseball's never had that, never will have that, because they're never going to have a salary cap. Players will never agree to it. So you're always going to have the mega spenders versus the smaller spenders. There's just never going to be that balance. It's also not the appeal for baseball nationally that there once was. And baseball is never going to grow to the point where it makes NFL money. The NFL's king. It's once a week. It's a great sport. And you're hitting people. That's what people love about it. But this year in baseball, and I only bring up the NFL thing because of the parity in the league, and it feels like anybody can win it. And the National League's not impressive either. And yeah, the Dodgers are over there with Shohei Ohtani, who's phenomenal, but they got a ton of problems. Their pitching is worrisome. We just watched the Astros play the Padres. I think that they might be the most dangerous team going into the postseason this year. The Diamondbacks will probably get in. They're dangerous. We saw them go to the World Series last year. The Brewers over there in the Central, but they're going to the postseason. Philadelphia has looked like or they had the best record in baseball all season for basically the entire year. But I think as the season's moved along, there's been some signs of wear and tear. And I said that the Diamondbacks are going to get in. It's the Mets, technically, that are going to get in right now. They're not impressive. Then you go to the American League. The Astros, this is the worst Astros team that they've had in this era. That's going to go to the postseason. They could still win. How many games they got left? I don't even know what they got left. I have my schedule. Freaking Google Chrome relaunched itself last night and closed all my tabs. I'm a big tabber. I like to keep my tabs open. The Astros have how many games left? 7, 8? And the Astros could still be a 90. What was tonight's win? Number 84. So they could still be over 90 wins, but this is still the worst team that they've put together in this run. And you just go look at the rest of the American League. The Yankees aren't anything. Like, they've got two great players, but they're still the Yankees. They play horrible defense. Their pitching is a massive question in their bullpen, and their rotation is not very good. All the formulas for exactly what they've done all these years when they've been in the postseason. Lose. Baltimore's inexperienced. They're kind of sputtering into the postseason as well. Cleveland's been hot lately. It's still Cleveland. They're still – I just don't know if you're ever going to get the buy-in that they're great. Kansas City has really struggled at the back end of the season. And then, of course, the other NL Central teams or AL Central teams. And it's AL Central. It's got 4 good teams in it this year, but they're all beatable. All very beatable. That's why the Astros, for as frustrating as it can be, they get the right guys hot, and they're starting to in some areas, and they go in the postseason hot. This team can go back to a World Series this year, even with the deficiencies that they have and the flaws that we all think they have. It'll be a lot of fun. Let's talk about the truth when it comes to one of my favorite players of all time, Justin Verlander. That's next here on the Locked On Astros Postcast. Passion, drive, and patience, the formula for winning championships, is also what keeps your ride or die alive. eBay Motors has you covered, has everything you need to maintain your vehicle and level it up to peak performance. Superchargers, roof racks, exhaust kits, LED headlights, and more. Whether you're into speed, power, or style, eBay Motors has you covered. With over 122 million parts for your number one ride or die, you'll always find exactly what you're looking for. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, your part is guaranteed to fit your ride every time or your money back. Because with eBay Motors, you're burning rubber, not cash. With all the parts you need at the prices you want, it's easy to make your car the MVP and bring home huge wins. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply. eBay Guaranteed Fit only available to U.S. customers. Locked On Astros Postcast continues on a Friday night. Thanks for stopping by. I'm your host, Michael Connor. If you're new to this channel, don't be a stranger. Come on back. Hit that subscribe button. Join the over 2,000 of you that have done just that. I absolutely appreciate you joining us on a nightly basis as the Astros, keep on winning despite their starting pitcher, who tonight wasn't very good. By the way, if you're looking for this show on podcast, go ahead and search Locked On Astros. You'll get this show and the Locked On Astros show. Brett and Eric, they do a wonderful job, guys. Make sure you go and check out their show. I'm sure they will give you some great content between now and the rest of the end of the season. Of course, well into the off season as well, because the baseball season never sleeps. The hot stove season will be here before you know it. But postseason baseball is ahead of us as well, as the Astros are looking to, get back to at least another ALCS for an 8th consecutive year. And by the way, this channel this weekend, tomorrow night we will have an Astros show. For those of you who have joined me so far for the Houston Cougar post-game shows for the football team, unfortunately, we'll not have one of those tomorrow. Just schedule conflict for me. Not going to be able to pull that one off, but I will be here for the Astros show tomorrow night. So don't forget to join us for that as we talk Astros and the Angels one more time. Verlander tonight. It started off okay. He was looking okay. He got through the first couple of innings, gave a run in the third. and gave him a couple more there in the fourth. Ends up giving up a total of 6 across 4 2/3 innings on 8 hits. Struck out 4. Justin Verlander is an ERA now that's closer to 6 than it is to 5. 5.55 ERA on the season for Justin Verlander. And since he's come back from his injury, from the injured list, just go ahead and run through it real quick. What it's looked like for him. It has not been good. It's not been good at all. He came back. He went out after the start on June the 9th. And his last 2 starts going in to that were against the Cardinals and the Angels, where he gave up both 4 runs in 5 innings in both of them. Since he's come back, he's done this. 5 innings, 2 runs. He looked okay in that Boston game, actually. Against Philadelphia, 5 innings, 4 runs. Against Cincinnati, 4 2/3, 5 runs. Against Arizona, 3 innings, 8 runs. Against the Angels, 5 innings, 2 runs. But it was a laborious 2 runs to get there. And then today, against the Angels again, 4 2/3, 6 runs. He's got an ERA in the month of September of 10.90, coming off of a month where it was 5.40, coming off of a month where it was 7.2. Now, both those 2 months only had 2 starts in them, so it is what it is. You know, I love Justin Verlander. I've told you guys that plenty of times. He's one of my favorite pitchers ever. He's somewhere back here behind my head. I think maybe there. I don't know. He's over there. He's not with me. By the way, thanks to the folks at Locked On. I got a sweet little shirt in the mail today. I got a something new to add to the collection back here. Just a Locked On baseball. Appreciate you fine folks over at Locked On. Love being part of the Locked On family and adding a little bit of the swag to the show. But Justin Verlander's probably about ready right now to be doing this. He could do this show. Astros would be better off if they put him in their rotation in the postseason. They are making a massive mistake. They just are. He's not good anymore. And I don't know. I really don't know what you're going to do with him. You can't pitch him. That's for sure. I just saw you guys say something's wrong with the mic again. Tell me, is the mic okay? I'm telling you, it's this stupid laptop. The plug goes in and out way too. I don't know. If it's okay, give me a yes or no. It's interrupting my. It's no. Hold on. If it's a no, hold on. I'm gonna have to unplug it because this stupid computer. Sorry. Hold on. Okay. Yes or no? Do you have me? Am I good to go again? I unplugged and plugged back in. Yes or no? Yes or no? I didn't see it. I'm sorry. I didn't have the thing up. It's my damn computer. I'm telling you that the USB plug for the microphones it's not wonderful. If you guys want to give me, I have a USB block too, and I've used it, and it's worse. I don't understand. I mean, come on, it happens. It is what it is. But the Astros can't pitch Justin Verlander in the postseason. They can't. They can't do it. It would be malpractice of their franchise. If you keep rolling him out there, you're just asking for it. They have way better pitchers. It's very clear. Very clear. who the better pitchers are. Framber Valdez is Hunter Brown. Yusei Kikuchi. He's going to have to swallow. He's going to take the hit to his ego. It's that simple. He's going to have to take the hit to his ego. And it's going to be a hit to his ego. It's the cold, hard truth. It might be time for him to walk away, which is wild to think. Because this is a guy that's always had his eyes set on pitching way longer than this. And you know what? There is just no reason to even think about bringing him back next year. Seriously, it's a godsend that the option for next year didn't vest. And it's not like this is a small sample size at all. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 starts since he's returned from the injured list. He made 15 starts this year. 16 starts this year, excuse me. And he's got an ERA at 5.55. Spencer Arrighetti's got a lower ERA. He's down at 4.68. He's 7-13 on the year. Sometimes knowing when to hang it up is probably tough. But when I watch him, I think it's time to hang it up. Go enjoy your life. Go enjoy your money. You got 2 World Series rings. You're going to the Hall of Fame. Don't be the guy that just hangs on and hangs on and hangs. I know it's hard for me to sit here and to say that when I'm not in his shoes. It's the only thing you've done your entire life, and there's a shelf life on it. Like, you and I can have a job that can take us forever, until our working days are done. Now, his job is going to allow his working days to be done. So, he could be sitting here looking at it, and this guy could have, he could have another, 41? In an unbelievable scenario, he could have another 60 years of life ahead of him. And what do you do for the next 60 years? He'll find something. He's rich. He'll be on TV or something somewhere. Not probably on TV, but he'll be doing something. He's got a supermodel wife that's made a ton of money as well. They're going to be just fine. But you've seen so many of these. He's not getting to the 300 win mark. He's at 261. He's got no shot. None. Knowing when to walk away might be something that, hopefully somebody's talking to him about it. That's all I hope. Let's talk about the latest on the Bregman situation. When I say that, let's talk about the GM of the Astros saying something. Again, it doesn't mean anything. That's next. You're on the Locked On Astros Postcast. You've heard us talk a lot about FanDuel, and, well, it's for good reason. It's America's #1 sports book. We have something a little different for you. Time's running out on this. Now through September 22nd, all FanDuel customers can bet $5 and get a 3-week free trial of NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube and YouTube TV. And with a YouTube TV base plan, you'll be able to watch every regular season Sunday night out-of-market game. All you need is a Google account and a current form of payment, and you can cancel any time. Just visit FanDuel.com to download America's #1 sportsbook. Locked On Astros Postcast for a few more minutes here on a Friday night. Thanks for joining us here live on the channel. If you're new to it, make sure you go ahead and hit the subscribe button. I would appreciate it as we continue to. We're cruising, baby. We're cruising. You guys got us past that. You guys got us past that 2,000 subscriber mark last night. We're just going to keep going. We're going to the moon. I'm telling you, we're going to the moon. I don't know what that means, but we're going to the moon. We're not actually going to the moon, but this channel's going to go to the moon. We're going to have somebody watching this on the International Space Station at some point. Somebody somehow get this link to them, please. Is that still up there? Something floating around that they can't get back from? I haven't paid attention to it. I've been a little bit busy lately. I've been very busy. And guess what? As soon as I get done, I'm going to be hitting that bed here in a minute. Do it all again tomorrow. Appreciate you guys again, like I mentioned, coming by, saying hello. Do it again tomorrow night. I'll give you a reminder on that in just a minute. Hey, we talked a little bit last night about Alex Bregman and Jose Altuve's comments that Chandler Rome had about, Altuve. Basically, I really think for the first time speaking out and saying anything about a contract situation for another player and saying he doesn't think that the team's going to let him go. And he, whether that's him just hoping or not, he just doesn't think it's going to happen. Dana Brown, he likes to talk. He talks a lot. It's a complete opposite approach from James Click, who didn't like to talk. He was a nice guy away from the microphones, but he didn't like to talk. Not that he didn't he just didn't like saying anything. It was worth anything. He just hid behind everything. Brian McTaggart, MLB.com, had a Q&A with Dana Brown. That's up on his mailbag, or I think it's his mailbag that he sends out, or his whatever it is. It comes in the email. I signed up for his email because I love tags. Great guy. Here's the question that he had to Dana Brown. You've said a few times free agent to be Alex Bregman will get a contract offer from the Astros. Where does that stand? Which, yes, he said this. Dana Brown said this, that he would get a contract offer in spring training, and guess what never happened? They never made a contract offer. Dana Brown's a liar. We were in Anaheim the other day, and I ran into Scott Boras, and we started talking a little bit. And we both said, look, once we get towards the end of the season and things are over, we'll definitely engage and talk about it. We had a small conversation about it. Right now, we're not in any discussions about contract offers. We both agreed we'll meet back up. Blah, 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 blah. That's what Dana Brown says when he speaks. Blah, 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 blah. It's all crap. It's all crap. He just likes to hear his own voice. He does. That's the conclusion I've come to. Because you wouldn't say this now. I mean, you said that in spring training, never made an offer. How are you going to suddenly make an offer? Just so your organization looks good? Okay, buddy. I'm not trying to be completely out on him. This Kikuchi trade's worked out. He wanted Ronel Blanco to be a starter. That's really worked out. But I'm done with hearing from him. Just stop talking. It doesn't help. It doesn't help. Because I can probably find 10 other things that you've said that just aren't even close to being true. So I just want to share my thoughts on that real quick. Tomorrow, this show will be back. 6:10 first pitch tomorrow night, so a little bit earlier. Ronel Blanco will get the start for the Astros, 11-6, the 288. Reed Detmers for the Angels. He's 4-7 with a 605. The Astros have had some very good success against Detmers in the past, so should be a good day, Minute Maid Park. The Astros look to continue their winning ways against the Angels and creep closer to the AL West title. Hope you guys have a great rest of your Friday night. Talk to y'all tomorrow night right here on the Locked On Astros Postcast.